time to be a hero. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. This is actually a first on the Comic Hero Show. You know, I just thought about this on my way up here, but this is the first ever episode of the Comic Hero Show that I've done in the month of September. Now, keep in mind, we started doing this web series back in 2013, October of 2013 to be exact. And last year, I didn't do any episodes in September, mainly because at that time I was making preparations for the new season. Oh, and well, really there isn't a new season. I don't think there is. I just celebrate, the first week of October. What I'm going to start doing is just celebrating, that I've been doing this show a number amount of years. So starting next month, it'll be 2 years since I started doing this show. Oh, and the theme for this month. Now keep in mind, this past summer, the theme was a salute to higher education in Louisiana. Well, for this month, it's going to be football season. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing a Homer High School themed Comic Hero tee because I went to Homer High School. I graduated from there 15 years ago. I'm a Pelican. I have Pelican pride running through my veins. I bleed purple, sweat gold, baby. And along to go with this Homer High hat. Now, and also I want to apologize for last week. I was supposed to do this episode 79 last week, but there was a few personal things that I had to get taken care of, and sometimes you have to make sacrifices. And, a while back on here I said, okay, if there's ever a time where I can't if there's a week I can't do my web series or anything like that, I just won't do it. But anyway, with that being said, what I'm going to do, 2 episodes this week. This episode 79, is today. As you're watching this is Wednesday, September 9, 2015. And episode 80 will be in 2 days. And so, anyway, let's get on with things. So I gotta ask, any questions? All right, I have 2 questions for this episode. Now, keep in mind, this episode there were actually 4 questions that were asked for episode 79, but because of what happened last week, I'm going to ask and answer 2 of them in this episode, and then 2 of them in the next episode. However, if you're watching this and it's not exactly Friday yet, you can go ahead and ask away. I mean, that is submit your questions so I can read them for episode 80. But anyway, the first question is from Kayla Sheremy from Shreveport, Louisiana. Jax, why do you think there aren't as many female heroes as men heroes? Well, Kayla, oh, hey, Alyssa. Hey, Renee. I'm doing all right. How are you? Answer your question, Kayla. When the first superhero that was ever created was actually Superman, and then right after him it was Batman, who was created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. But then later on, William Moulton Marston created Wonder Woman. Now, Wonder Woman is considered to be the first female superhero in comics, and she's also one of my favorite superheroes of all time. Not just female superheroes, but superheroes of all time. Now, I'm an equal opportunist in terms of comics. I really don't discriminate because of a person's background. As long as they do good, they're all right with me. I don't know. I mean, really, I don't know if a lot of these creators are chauvinistic or not. I mean, I really can't. I mean, there have been a few characters that Stan Lee either created or co-created that are female superheroes, like Black Widow or the Wasp or Jean Grey. Of course, Jean Grey was one of the 5 original X-Men that was created by Stan Lee and the late great Jack Kirby. I don't know. I mean, I think it may be a chauvinistic kind of scenario or not. I mean, the second I used to create superheroes myself. I was one. I'm not going to say what her name is, what the name is, or what her powers are. Because after all, I may go back to working on this character again. But the second superhero I ever created, when I tried to try my hand at writing and creating comics, was a female. And I think the third or fourth character was also a female as well. But I don't know. Maybe a chauvinistic kind of thing or something, but it shouldn't be that way. I really don't think so, because women are just as capable of doing things that men are in both comics and in real life.
Ain't that the truth? Only thing I can do is their children. That's right. Some women know you got to do it better than men.
No, it's okay. There have been worse stuff said. There have been worse stuff said on this show. Like there was in the blooper reel. I remember there was an episode where Clint was a little upset because there were some items that were dropped off here that weren't supposed to go here, and he was dropping F-bombs like nobody's business. So don't worry about that. See, folks, this is why I love doing this show here as opposed to my apartment. Because in my apartment it's just me. It's just me and a whole bunch of music cues. Although I may bring the music cues back. But I just love it when others chime in. I mean, this is just so great. Okay, but his next question is from Brian Ferguson from Wake Forest, North Carolina, who I also went to high school with at Homer High School. He asked, this isn't comic book related, but since it's Homer High School week, what's your favorite memory from Homer High? Brian, oh my goodness, I tell you, there are so many wonderful memories from my 4 years there. A lot of them I was involved in, and a lot of them I wasn't directly involved in. You probably remember a lot of the great memories that happened. All happened in my sophomore year, which was your freshman year. Like the 1997 football season, which was one of the most amazing seasons ever. I mean, yeah, we got knocked out in the second round by Jonesboro Hodge, but it was just something fun about that year. like that game against Franklin Parish High School back when they were Winsboro High School. We won 54 to 51. That was one, and then the game against Loyola at Parkway Stadium. I mean, I can just go on and on. But really, one of my favorite memories. One of my favorite memories was actually graduating from there. Now, I'm not saying that because I was glad because I was relieved because I wasn't going to high school there. But you know what? That is like something that a lot of students, no matter where you go, whatever high school you go to, that is one of the things that you dreamed of. 13 years of hard work put in, and then you did it. You made it. You graduated from high school. So it had to be graduation. So yeah. Well, anyway, that's it for any questions. Now remember, if you have any questions you want to ask for the segment, contact info is down there. Now, good friend Kiefer Price has requested. Now, this is the second intergender DC versus Marvel fight we've had. And in episode 78, we had one where Black Adam went up against Captain Marvel. But I want to. But I think this one is also going to be, as Jim Ross used to say in the WWE, a real slobber knocker. On the DC side, we have the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. On the Marvel side, we have Jean Grey. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call DC versus Marvel. Hulk smash! Welcome to DC vs. Marvel. Today, it's Green Lantern versus Jean Grey. The Hal Jordan Green Lantern, as any other Green Lantern, possesses flight, semi-invulnerability, and heart-like construct generation with the use of a power ring. Jean Grey possesses telekinesis, telepathy, astral projection, eidetic memory, mind reading and control, memory alteration and erasure, and psionic blast. Who will win? Prior to this fight, Green Lantern was briefed by the Guardians of the Universe that Jean Grey is a very powerful telepath. With that in mind, he created a construct around his head to shield himself from Jean Grey's telepathy. The fight would consist of them using their powers against each other. Jordan is doing so with conviction, due to being uncomfortable with fighting a woman. Jean is having a hard time fighting him because of the shield construct around Jordan's head, so she relies on telekinesis and astral projections. Jean delivers a psionic blast to Jordan. Jordan creates a construct of a boxing glove and punches the psionic blast towards Jean, knocking her out unconscious. Jordan then creates a construct of a bubble around Jean and takes her back to Oa to be imprisoned. Green Lantern wins. But wait! The Guardians forgot to tell Hal Jordan about Jean's other powers. I think you know what's coming next. Halfway to Oa, Jean regains unconsciousness and mumbles the words, "I can't control it." She then transforms into Phoenix, breaking out of the bubble and disintegrates Jordan with a single thought. Phoenix wins. And that concludes this DC versus Marvel fight. Oh, okay, I hope you enjoyed the DC versus Marvel fight. We all know that Jean Grey was going to win that one. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But if you have any requests for DC versus Marvel fights, contact info is down there. Now then, it's time for Comically Speaking, my favorite segment and your favorite segment. So without further ado, let's talk comics! Okay, now I'm only going to talk about one thing in this segment of Comically Speaking. I found out who the identity of this totally awesome Hulk is, and it's not who I thought it was. I thought it was going to be Thor Odin's son, since he is no longer, carries Mjolnir. I mean, Marvel has been really tight-lipped about who the new Hulk is, because they were until last week when they finally revealed it. It's not Thor Odin's son, it's Amadeus Cho. And then all of a sudden I started thinking, I thought, yeah, that makes sense, because Amadeus Cho has always had a Love Jones for the Hulk. in terms of what the Hulk can do. Not necessarily Bruce Banner, but the Hulk. And so as Ric Flair would say, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So what does Amadeus Cho do? Oh, he siphons all the gamma radiation from Bruce Banner's DNA and transfers it to himself. so that's how he does it. So Bruce Banner is no longer the Hulk; it is now Amadeus Cho. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, who is Amadeus Cho? Amadeus Cho in the Marvel Universe is one of the smartest men in the world. He also appeared in, I think, one Marvel movie. What movie was that? Well, coincidentally, it was The Incredible Hulk. Now he only had a small segment in there, which only lasted, I think, about like 2-3 seconds. It was the scene where Bruce Banner ended up going to Culver University. He had just gotten past the security guard, who was played by the great Lou Ferrigno. And he delivers the pizza. After he delivers the pizza, he looks over, and there's this kid like looking at him, smiling at him, and then raises a slice of pizza at him. That was Amadeus Cho. So there you know. So there you have it. Okay, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now remember, folks, I love doing research for the Comically Speaking segment. But if you have any topics that you want me to talk about in the Comically Speaking segment, please let me know. Contact info is down there. You know, I always point down there, and I know y'all getting sick of it. And I know some customers come in here and they're thinking, wait a minute, down where? What are you talking about? I mean, even Renee's grandson Skylar in episode 75, he asked me that same thing. And then Alyssa, who I was just talking to a minute ago, she asked that same thing. But anyway, that's it for Comically Speaking. So then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Batman number 44. Now this is now the direction of this book is really altered since the end of the Endgame story arc, where Batman has seemingly lost his life against the Joker. But we all know, come on, this is Batman. This is Bruce Wayne. He didn't die, and he doesn't. We find out at the end of issue number 42 that, actually the issue number 41, actually, that Bruce Wayne is still alive. And then in the following issue, we find out that Jim Gordon, former police commissioner Jim Gordon, seeks his advice to be the Batman. Oh, and by the way, this is a Green Lantern 75th anniversary variant coming that DC is doing throughout the month of September. All right, see you later, Gabe. And that was Gabe. Oh, folks, a few minutes ago, before I started taping this scene, I talked to Gabe Elliott, who was Clint's first ever customer here at Clint's Comics when it opened up over 20 years ago. All right, next up is Detective Comics number 44. Now this one is kind of centered towards members of the Gotham City Police Department, notably Detective Harvey Bullock and Officer Renee Montoya. It's a very good book. It's kind of a cutting room floor book for the main Batman book. Well, although Detective Comics to me has always been the main Batman book, but it's a good read. All right, next up is Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows number 5. This is the conclusion to this miniseries within the Secret Wars miniseries, and this miniseries does not disappoint. When I read number 3, I kind of got the impression that the bad guys ended up catching Mary Jane and Spider-Man, and she and Spider-Man's daughter Annie Parker. No, it was actually the Resistance. It wasn't Regent. It was the Resistance, and we find out that Spider-Man gets captured by Regent and is attempted to be killed so that Regent can start using his power, can have his powers for himself. But now it's up to Mary Jane and Annie to save Peter Parker's life. And this is the conclusion. And I'll let y'all know what happens in it in episode 80 of the Comic Hero Show. Alright, up next is Star Wars Shattered Empire #1. This is a prelude book to Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And as a longtime Star Wars fan, I am so pumped about reading this book. And words can't describe how excited I am about buying and reading this book, because this lets us know what all happens leading up to Star Wars Episode 7. And I'm even more excited about going out to see that when it comes out in 3 months in theaters. And last up, and I've had second thoughts about wanting to read this book, but I'm going to, because this is a classic character, or it's the renewal of a classic character. Miracle Man #1. This is the new series that's written by Neil Gaiman and penciled by Mark Buckingham. Now, Mark Buckingham, I've been reading Mark Buckingham ever since he penciled the Titans and Spider-Man, and I'm just so excited about it because this is, because we read a whole bunch of classic issues, because Marvel reprinted a whole bunch of classic issues that were written back in the 80s and 90s, but now we get to see brand new stories from this character. And I am so pumped about this, and y'all have no idea. Okay, that's 5 I bought, which brings the total number of comics I bought since December of 1997 to 6,939. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And I want to apologize for not doing this episode last week, but like I said, I had a whole bunch of public things, not public, personal things that I need to get taken care of, and coming over here last week was out of the question. But you know, but hey, I made up for it, and that's all that matters. And I'm doing episode 80 back here in 2 days. Now then, if you have any questions for the Any Questions segment, contact info is down there. And t-shirts, if you want your own t-shirt, like if you want one like mine, if you want one that you want to design, or if there's like a specific t-shirt you want, if it's any design, if it's not anything crazy or anything like that, although I've made a few crazy shirts myself, but I can tell you all that this much, then please let me know. All right, and speaking of t-shirts, I want to thank everyone who has helped me build the 7,000 Comics t-shirt. With these books now, I am 61 away from 7,000. 61. So it's just around the corner. It may be next month. It may be November when I get there. Because the kind of person I am, when I buy comics, I don't buy them in bulk. I used to back when I was young and stupid. You know, but now that I have my own place and all that, and I have bills to pay and rent to pay and all, and car insurance to pay and all that, I gotta draw the line. But you know, this month, the theme for this month is football season. In episode 80, which will be in 2 days, will be ULM. And speaking of football, I just want to take this time to send my sincere condolences to the family of the young man who died. The young man who died at Franklin Parish High School during a football game, Tyrell Cameron. You know, football is such a a fun sport to watch, and we tend to forget that it can be very dangerous. And and so if you're watching this, if you're a family member, if you're related to Tyrell Cameron, if you're a teammate of his, if you went to school in Franklin Parish, if you live anywhere in Franklin Parish, my thoughts and prayers go out to y'all. And I it's just no more. It's just no other words to explain. But yeah, my serious condolences again. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the comic hero. I'm about to pay for these books. I'll see you in about a few days for episode 80. Get back here at Clint's Comics. Till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero, and go Pelicans go.